All right, brah. I'm ready when you is.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Teeter Talk. I am Alex.
I am Ben.
And today we are going to be talking about Daredevil, Sinners, The Last of Us, and we got a couple top 10s for you. Top 10 and top 5s.
Top 10, top 5s. Yes,
sir.
we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, how are you, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good.
Are you?
Yeah.
Life treating you well?
Life's treating me really well.
Good. You got a dog now.
I sure do.
What's his name?
Gus.
Gussie.
Gusterson. He's doing really well with his commands, like sit and lay down and shake and stuff like that. And he's
Very good.
He's been a very good dog.
Awesome.
He's been a very good dog.
He's the bustest boy. He's straight with Grandpa,
He's
and we had all sorts of fun.
Yeah,
so
he's
a good. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a lot better than my two dingleberries. If you're going to notice that our podcasts are kind of delayed when we post them, because like the Daredevil season finale was last week, and we still haven't. We're going to talk tonight about the season finale. And
we got jobs.
Yeah, we got jobs. We got lives, people.
Come on.
What do you want from us?
Stop paying us and shit.
Oh my God! Or edit for us, goddamn! And you better do it as good as we do, and if not better. There's a bunch of people that are watching that are like, oh, just please, man, hold my beer.
Yeah, fuck these guys.
Fuck FTG.
FTG.
Fuck these guys.
Fuck these guys.
Man, just feels good to say.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. I like it. See? Loosey-goosey, baby.
Loosey-goosey.
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 All right, well, let's see here. What else we got? We got to talk about. We don't have to just jump right into it. I don't really have any movie news this week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Well, we can talk about some of the trailers that have come out. So like,
yeah, let's talk that because we saw some pretty good trailers at the Sinners opening night.
Yeah, and then
on Friday.
We haven't talked about the newest Fantastic Four trailer. I mean,
right?
That's not.
No, we should because I did a reaction to that as well.
Oh, did you?
I did that and the 28 years later reaction.
I need to pick it up.
I'm telling you, I just sit there and it was set up one day after I had done something, and then I just sat down and watched those two when they premiered, and I just watched them and recorded my reaction. So it'll be that. And I don't know, like, did you do a Daredevil? You did do Daredevil reactions.
I didn't do the season finale though because we were having trouble getting because that was around the Last of Us episode 1. And we were having trouble getting the footage for that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I didn't record a reaction.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I recorded a reaction to it, but I'll go into why I did. Well, I mean, I did it for the pod, but I mean, just
for the pod.
It just wasn't. I didn't react too much.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just kind of like.
Yeah, I caught myself doing that during the therapy scene in The Last of Us episode 1.
You're crazy.
I was just kind of like,
dude, you saw my reaction. That was a big old bitch.
That was my face the entire time. I was just like,
I saw that. I'm like, why is this kid not reacting?
Yeah,
he's emotional. I know he is.
Yeah,
and I freaking bawled like a baby. But
I'm
getting up there in age, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, I was kind of like in my mind. I forgot who Eugene was at first.
And I don't even know who Eugene is.
Oh, really?
In the fucking game?
Yeah, he was one of the Fireflies. He was the one that had the weed place down in the bunker.
Was he ever introduced, the character himself?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I want to say.
I don't remember him.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, even it like makes me like it even better now because they've tied in Catherine O'Hara, who's. Anyhow, let's just jump into The Last of Us.
Yeah, why not?
Might as well. We can chop this up and do it another time.
Let's do it.
Okay, so The Last of Us at this point has released 2 episodes, the season premiere and the second episode, which might as well be the season fucking finale for all I care. See, we saw this coming. For those of you, spoilers, we're just putting it out there. I'm going to do a countdown and everything, but we're going to do spoilers on this show, okay? So Last of Us, Season 2, even if you haven't seen Season 1 or played the game, spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You've been warned.
Yes. Okay, season premiere started off following the game almost to a T, and unfortunately so, because there's a certain, and we'll get into it here shortly, reason as to why none of us wanted this to go in the path that the game did. So, yes. So for season 1 was great. We put our reactions, or I'm sorry, episode 1. Episode 1 was great. We put our reactions online, and so go check those out. But it was good. But episode 2, we just watched episode 2 nights ago. We're still traumatized by it. What we had feared would come to pass came to pass.
Yeah. Episode 1 was good. I liked. Let's just do that. Let's just talk about each episode.
Okay, let's do it
Real quick.
Yeah. We can break it back up. Go back to episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1.
What are some highlights of episode 1 for you?
I really liked the stalker scene. I thought that was a great scene. It was, I mean, if you guys saw my reaction video, if anybody it was creeping me the hell out.
Episode 1, or are we on episode 2?
No, this is episode 1. The stalker.
Which one was the stalker?
The one in the grocery store. When she fell through the hole.
Oh, that is episode 1. I'm sorry. I kept thinking that was episode 2.
No.
My fault.
Yep. Episode
Anyhow,
1.
we can do that.
But yeah, that was a amazing scene. It was pretty early from the video game, from when they introduced the stalkers, which I thought was interesting, because I thought that having the stalkers being introduced in Seattle with we already addressed spoilers, in Seattle with the Shamblers. I thought that was kind of a cool concept, how there were different types of infected in different climates and different areas.
Okay. So I guess I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't notice the value in it until I saw them introduce it in Jackson,
gotcha.
In the show.
Gotcha.
When I started, I was like, wow, that's really early. I kind of liked the fact that they waited till Seattle in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did really like that scene. I thought it was a great way to introduce them.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Dina. I'm obsessed with Dina's character.
She's awesome.
She's amazing.
The actress, I forget her name. Do you know her name?
Isabella Merced.
Okay,
I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but yeah, it's spelled
I've seen her in other things. I'm not quite sure what. I can't name off the top of my head what she's been in.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed her, and I thought she was a great casting decision for this.
Oh, me too. I thought she brought a little something extra in Dina that she needed
from the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm loving, because this is kind of getting into both. This will be my transition into the episode 2.
Okay.
Into episode 2. The show is showing that she has the survivor sense, this just ability to survive, and has these strategies. When she was showing Ellie the bottle, right there, and just showing how to handle the situation, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then in episode 2, she was with Joel instead of Tommy. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah. And the whole time, as soon as she sees Abby, she's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Right.
And then when they get to the cabin, she's the one that notices the WLI patch.
Yeah, you're right. She's very she picks up on it, very perceptive.
Yeah,
of everything
and she's
around her.
"Where did you guys come from?" She's very perceptive.
Yeah.
Of everything, and I think that's going to be a really important part to the story in the future episodes.
I agree. I hope that her character. So the way that they've set it up with her essentially being there when Joel's killed. Mm-hmm. Spoiler, but we already told you. But literally, Joel's dead. It happened in the game.
Yeah.
He gone. R.I.P. Joel.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, but I loved how they had a relationship, a pre-existing relationship already, where in the game they didn't.
Yeah.
In fact, Joel knew nothing of her because he was asking Ellie, who is this girl to you, kind of thing.
He knew they were friends. That was
right, but he didn't know her the way that he does in the show, which is they already have, again, a pre-established relationship.
Yeah.
But I love their banter. I love how she almost teases him, and he goes with it. Her sense of humor.
Are you in fucking therapy?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, that was great. And I really wanted to have a scene with her wake up and see what had happened.
Yeah.
Because I think she's such a powerful actress that that would have been her time to shine. And maybe they will. Maybe it'll be like a where she goes back and tries to remember, where they're like, okay, tell us everything you can about who these people were. And then, she wakes up, and then we cut back to her waking up. I hope we get that, because I think she's a great actress, and I think she'd nail that scene.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be really interesting.
It was something. We had to live through it twice, basically.
And that's the most fucked up thing that they did, is not only did they make us live through it twice, but they added concepts that weren't in the game to make it hurt just as much as the first time. Like
them not still being... I mean, they were at odds for the most part in the game as well, weren't they? Or had they kind of made up?
No, they were still... They were kind of at like the same spot as they are in the game.
Were they? Okay, yeah, because she never got a chance to really fully make right with him and tell him, not that she needed to tell him she's sorry, but, to make right with him, because it was still strained when at the end. But the scene where she crawls up on him and just rests her face on his, you'll see it in the reaction. I bawled like a baby. I had tears streaming down my face.
Oh,
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
It broke me.
Being such a big fan of the game, like the entire episode just gave me anxiety. Like
the first two were killing me.
Oh my God. It was just like the moment that Abby and Joel cross paths, as soon as she came around that corner from that fucking fence, I was like, fuck.
Right. And then, the part when she's looking at, watching them, she's stalking them, or, she sees them. I'm like, you lucky bitch. Yeah. Like, you just came across the guy that killed your dad. He just so happened out in the freaking Alaskan wilderness, wherever. No, Colorado.
That's a good
wilderness.
Point. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, that was my only issue. I think I called bullshit on it at one point, because I'm like, what are the chances that she would stumble across the only two scouts out there are going to be one of them is going to be the guy that killed her dad. Like he fell into your fucking lap. You know what I mean? And I just, I can't stand her. But then, by the end of the game, I understood her. And
well, that's the thing though, is like in the show, you basically already know why Abby did what she did.
Right. I think they're going to add more pathos to it, and more emotion by showing her and her dad's relationship.
Yeah.
So we all get a sense of what she lost,
right.
And we get more of an understanding of where she was coming from.
Right.
But yeah, you already know right away that she's not just he
killed her dad.
Yeah. She's not a one-note villain. She's well-rounded.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that addition, just because that's what made Abby such a special character.
Made her so interesting.
When she first gets introduced, she's just this why the fuck would you just kill Joel?
Right.
And then you learn her story and you start to understand.
Right.
And this, it's just, from the start.
I agree. And I hope it'll have a payoff. I'm on the ride right now, but I agree. Another issue I have, and I've heard a lot of people say, is her not being in the same physical condition as the original Abby in the game. And I think there was a lot of thought to that, because she was so traumatized by the death of her dad that for 5 years, all she did was pump iron, and she got huge, ridiculously huge. And I think that's strong. I think that's a very cool plot point. I think it's a great, little bit for her character.
Yeah.
And anyhow, I just really think but I'm invested in the show already. It's already traumatized me. So I just got to see how far Ellie's willing to go, because Ellie lays waste to a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
She becomes Joel, basically. Joel in the last scene of The Last of Us, but although in the game he lays waste to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know how many people you kill over the course of that game.
A kill
as
counter?
Joel. There's got to be.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Got to be.
I don't really want to hear any more slander about Bella Ramsey at this point from anybody. I think this past episode, even if she doesn't look like Ellie, that much. Like I see so many mean posts about her on TikTok.
I get it. You know, I mean, I don't understand it. I'm not trying to say that because I think it's mean and I think it's unnecessary. But I get why people are having, you know, the big fans, the diehard fans are the ones, and I guarantee it's the same people bitching about where the second game went. You know what I mean? Well, it doesn't look like her. You know, it's the same trolls. But no, I think she's holding her own. I really do. She's a phenomenal actress. There goes that phenomenal word. I know I got to keep count of that because I just do it too often. Yeah, I was pretty crushed by the last episode.
Yeah, like they did a great job. And
how about that final finishing blow?
Yeah.
In the game,
the audio in that moment, how it cuts out and it's just her ringing as she's screaming. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Lord. In the game, she finishes him off with the driver to the skull, which is pretty brutal. And in this one, she at this point has broken the driver and uses the leftover handle to impale the nape of his skull into his. Well, I don't know if it's in his brain, but it definitely is cutting off all of the nerves.
Yeah, she fucked him up. She fucked my boy up.
She did. So it's a sad, sad episode. One of the saddest in TV, I think. But yeah, we'll see where the episode or the series goes. And I'm hooked. I'd like to see. I know that they're doing a season 3, so I'd like to see how far they take this season.
Yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. Like, I mean, last episode, even though I dreaded what happened, like I thought it was an amazing episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like the addition with the Horde going to Jackson.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was just the way it was done with the how
pipes.
The pipes, exactly, like how they switched direction.
Yeah.
But the fact that, like, with them talking how they're hiding under the corpses, that's a whole new plot thread. That was not in the game.
Nope.
So how they're keeping warm under their own dead, and then she slides down. And I knew as soon as she was going to slide down that whole thing, I'm like, right after they had announced that's how I'm like, oh, no. And then she sees the hand sticking out, and I'm like, oh, she's so fucked.
Well, that's kind of what happens in the game, too.
Is it?
Yeah, she slides down and then like a couple.
But I don't think they unbury themselves, do they?
No.
Okay,
no,
that's what I was so impressed with is that she sees the buried ones and then realizes she's amidst a burial.
How many like
plot?
Imagine how many feet, like how. Jesus Christ! Can I talk?
You can.
Like, yeah, how many feet above the ground she was, like on top of all those bodies.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing when she starts running, you know, from them. I'm like, oh my god, trying to if I could talk, trying to haul ass in that snow. I mean that was like wilderness snow. You know what I mean? That's not like you got some dirt right, you know, 6 inches below the surface. So anyhow, I was man, that was such an intense scene. That entire episode. That's one thing I'll give it is just the intensity of it. Like I was in this constant state of anxiety.
You were wrapped the entire time.
Absolutely, yeah. It was nonstop. And again, back to the assault on Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, done. I mean, when they got in, it just kept leveling up.
Yeah. And I've been seeing, I kind of want to address this with people that might have commented this, not on our stuff, but on others.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a bunch of comments saying that the fact that Tommy wasn't with Joel when Joel died and he was in Jackson, they said it's stupid because Tommy's motivation for going to Seattle and getting revenge is invalid now. They're fucking brothers. Like, what more of a reason do you need?
I don't even understand the argument. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand anybody that would even have that argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why that's a big deal at all.
It's about avenging the death of his brother.
Right.
That's
exactly.
And his brother's dead.
They're talking about survivor's guilt from being there and shit like that. No, he's wanting to kill the motherfuckers that got his brother. That's it.
Now, here's the thing. Save your bitching for the end of the series. If it all doesn't come to fruition, save your bitching.
Word up. God damn.
Bars,
God
motherfucker.
Damn. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, shit. I think I might just have a new tattoo. But yes, yeah, just quit it. You know what I mean? It's just
nitpicking.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! Just let the freaking story play out, and then make your freaking judgments.
Stop trying to find something to hate.
Jesus. Anyhow.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on The Last of Us season 2.
Anything else to say?
I really don't. I think we're good. Yep. Next up is our thoughts on the Daredevil Born Again season finale and the series as a whole. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, so let's start off doing this. I'm going to have you rate this season as a whole.
Okay.
So go ahead.
9.
Wow.
I loved it. I mean, when I watch a show, after watching each episode continuously can't wait for the next one, want to watch the next one immediately.
Sure.
That's when I know I'm watching a really good show.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's how it was almost the entire fucking time with that show. Like the Kamala Khan episode, it was.
Oh, her dad?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mentioning her with the Funko
episode,
Pop.
Yeah, the bank episode.
Funko bobblehead.
Yeah, it was offbeat from what they were doing, but like I still think that they told the story really well for having that filler episode in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like I think the entire story was great. I just kind of wish that we had a little bit more Muse.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought they built him up nicely, then they gave us a couple episodes with him and it was over with.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll set him up for something different.
Maybe. But, I mean, had they just peppered him in there a little bit more, throughout the season, then it would have felt more
he's dead, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, as of right now,
dead.
They didn't go back to him or anything like that.
I totally forgot she shot him.
Heather, dumped a full clip, and I think in his chest or some shit. So, so unless, obviously it's a superhero show, they can bring him back. But I just felt if they peppered him in there a little bit throughout the season, that would have helped with the whole, like, all of a sudden he's dead. And like, it was just kind of like abrupt. Mm-hmm. So, and that might have something to do with like how, the original creators came in and did, I forget how many episodes. 19. And then did they finish 19 episodes?
That's what it was. That's what they first announced what season 1 was going to be.
I remember that was their initial plan for it, but then I remember at some point during production, they fired the original showrunners.
I remember that.
And then there's I should have done my research a little bit better, but I know that there's like a couple episodes that are basically what the original premise, the original show was going to be, and then the new creators took over, and that's mostly. Or maybe it's opposite, flip-flopped. But somebody got a majority, and then I think they did 3 episodes, the new creators, to kind of steer it in a different direction, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. But
what is your rating of Daredevil?
I would give it I'm at about a 7.5.
Really?
I am. Now, I felt it was good. I felt the Netflix shows were better. Now... Okay. I think there was some major highlights, like Foggy getting shot in the first one. Mm-hmm. There was some amazing television there that was just awesome. Mm-hmm. I just didn't feel that level followed throughout the series. I thought we kind of got some ups and downs, which is typical, but like, again, the bank scene or the bank episode, I kind of thought it was just filler, It was entertaining filler, but it was filler nonetheless. It didn't really elevate things for me. It didn't add any stakes for me.
Yeah.
It did add, plot threads and kind of, with introducing how connected everything was. But it just didn't, in the end, it didn't blow me away. And the season finale did not blow me away.
Really?
It didn't. In fact, I really I won't say disliked, but the scene between Daredevil and Punisher when they get together and waste those cops, I was so disappointed that the whole thing was shot in slow-mo. Like almost all of it. I just kept going. And if I post the reaction, I'm going too much slow-mo. I felt it just needed it to be more kinetic, more hyper, like where we're getting, I don't know. I just, that was my issue with it is I just felt, slow motion is something I think can be done sparingly. And when you start integrating it in almost every other shot, it's just too much.
I didn't even really notice, to be honest.
No, it is. If you go back and watch it, the whole thing's almost shot in slow-mo. And then they speed up real quick and show some quick ass kicking, and then it's back to, Frank pulling the gun out and shooting a dude in the head, and then the explosion happening, and I just felt it could have been done a lot better. And I just at the end, especially when they come out into the bar and the Rosie's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I expected more than that. I expected there to be like a freaking, when they're talking about assembling an army.
An army.
I thought it would be sweet getting something out of that shit. Like I felt so robbed. I was like, what? We got all these fucking, you got the bartender. What the fuck is she going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? She got a double barrel tucked behind the bar.
Right.
Cool. But, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I've gotten tired. Why you? No. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's that army scene. Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't really.
It was weak.
It was.
Weak.
It was.
And that was the final. I mean, that's the final scene. You know, other than the shot of Daredevil through the paper, which was cool.
Yeah.
Which is a awesome final shot. Yeah, I just thought it led up to that, and I kind of like as soon as I'm like, meh, like just didn't have that impact that I wanted it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I really
that
like
I wanted from it.
I like the story of like Karen coming back. Like,
they needed to bring
whole
Karen
thing.
back because that was needed.
Having that and having Frank Castle be the one to go get him, like I'm glad that made sense. I'm glad they didn't just bring him back for the finale.
And they cut his fucking hair.
Yeah.
I loved it. Well, remember me bitching about his haircut in the previous?
Do you know why? Did you catch why he did that?
Oh, no.
Because his, like, Matt, Frank, and Karen have had this, like, triangle thing.
Right.
This series. So
he was doing it to look fresh for her?
She called him and was like, hey, I need you to get Matt. I'm going to meet you here. So, yeah, he got fresh for her.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, he got fresh for her. 100%.
I loved that little conversation between her and Matt where he was talking about their heartbeat. Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool. A little love triangle thing. That was neat. But yeah, overall, just kind of like it was above a 7, so it's 7.5. I've enjoyed the Netflix seasons more than this season. But yeah, that's where I stand.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was a big fan of. I thought Wilson Fisk showed an even crazier side of him. Like I just can't wait for more.
The fucking head tearing apart. He tears apart a fucking guy's head. I'm talking like squeezing it till the guy's crying blood, and then at one point just like tears it apart.
Yeah,
I've never seen a more grisly death in anything Marvel related, and anything probably on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
well, they got a lot of shit now, but anyhow. That and then in a fucking MCU project. Did I already say that?
I said Marvel.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that blew me away. I was like, and you know me, I'm a gore hound. I love fucking horror movies. So I was like, I laughed pretty hard at like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was insane.
Just they took it. It was like we got to top season 1's decapitation scene. How are we going to do that? Well, let's just tear a face in two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that poor guy too. I kind of was hoping he would be more throughout the show with like building a force against Fisk, and they just, I thought he was kind of,
yeah,
wasted.
I liked everything. Like I liked all the stuff with BB Urich and remind me on his name, Michael.
Character's name or Gandolfini?
Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character anyway. I liked that too. Like I liked how he's getting to me because it's just like he acts like this dope. And then he has these scenes where he's all serious and he's this boss.
He's
like,
cunning.
What is going on? Like,
well, I look forward to seeing him in the future.
I feel like he might be faking his dopiness to Fisk. Like, what if he's got some higher plan?
Overall, entertaining show.
Yeah, I really liked it. I can't wait for more.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that sexy black Daredevil suit.
I saw a thing recently where a bunch of people on TikTok were saying that they think it's AI.
Man, let me enjoy things.
Well, then I saw a one where they were showing the action where he was moving around and fighting and doing
real.
It looked real.
I guarantee it's real. Yeah.
I mean, why not? It's not so like elaborate that it's like, out of the realm of possibility. They fucking nailed it. They nailed the look. They got the double D's in there.
I feel like
and I'm not talking about the boobies.
Daredevil has been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. I can't wait for more. And I can't wait for Thunderbolts. My question is though, like, how in the finale, I mean, I feel like martial law on the city, they've got to address that somehow in Thunderbolts. That's pretty huge.
The Thunderbolts take place in New York?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that was... I hadn't looked into the locale.
Their tower is Old Avengers Tower.
Yeah, but that tower where she falls off, where she does the dive
That's
in the trailer?
in another country.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure where the finale would end up.
Yeah, there's multiple locations, but like all of Sentry's stuff, that's New York based.
I got you. You know, at the same time, they'd probably get away with it. You know what I mean? Because it could always be like, you know, Sentry's in Harlem and they're in Manhattan or something like that.
But he's the mayor of New York.
I get it, but maybe it's like during the point where maybe their explanation, you know, Marvel, they'll come up with some explanation where they're like, oh, the outage happened during this time when the Thunderbolts were at a different point in the city.
He put the state under martial law, though.
That's true. That is true. Hopefully they announce it.
I mean, like, I feel like you can't. It's like.
Is it all going around the same time? Do we know that much?
I would think so. I'm not really 100% sure. Like, maybe they do some point in the future for Thunderbolts or
yeah,
something,
I mean, knowing, I mean, how Marvel, like, I'll watch a movie and then all of a sudden I'll find out it was supposed to take place like 3 years in the past during this other movie kind of thing.
I guess I don't really know when. What am I doing? Am I autistic?
Could be.
Like, I'm just playing with shit.
I've wondered.
What the fuck is going on?
We've never had it tested, though.
Oh, my God. I don't even remember what I was going to say now.
We're talking about Thunderbolts, and we were talking about the likelihood of Fisk martial law on the city while Thunderbolts are going on.
Yeah.
And it could happen in a different time, is what all I was saying.
Yeah, I don't really know when
even it happens
Daredevil takes place because it does that year jump.
Right.
So I don't really know.
No, I don't think it's anything that's, you know, I think Marvel will somehow figure it out, you know, but they got a lot of things plate spinning, so maybe they missed out on they have been known to miss out on a couple plot threads or, you know, connecting tissue.
They kind of did leave the whole Tiamat Eternals thing out in the air for a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I sent them to deep space and shit. They're like, all right, you know, we're probably...
there's just a celestial, half a celestial hanging out of the earth.
Focus groups aren't looking good,
so
we're going to send you guys to space, and we'll bring you back if the time ever needs you.
Yep.
Yeah. Moving on, we just happened to check out this past Friday the new Ryan Coogler directed vampire Jim Crow South Sinners.
Well, do you want to start or do you want me to?
I would like you to start.
All right.
What were your thoughts? So I first and foremost, I want to hear your score. So out of 5, what would you give Sinners?
Out of 5, like 4.78. Oh my God.
Very specific.
Oh my God. Well, not like 4.78, but 4.7 or 4.8.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Amazing. Best movie of the year in my opinion so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that Michael B. Jordan's role as both Smoke and Stack, I thought he did a really good job with that. Like, I give Michael B. Jordan some shit sometimes because I feel like he only plays one type of character, but I
agree.
You
know my thoughts on him.
Yeah, he proved me wrong this movie, and I really enjoyed his roles. Haley Steinfeld, same thing. Steinfeld, sorry.
She could be watching. We gotta pronounce her name right.
Well, I mean, if you're watching.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just trying to tighten this.
Are you sure that's what you're doing?
That doesn't correlate.
Haley, as his father, I just want to apologize to you. I raised him better than that. So whatever he's doing with his mic knobs, I don't condone.
I just wanted to say it was the best picture I thought I've ever seen you in. That's all I wanted to say.
She does a lot of good movies. I saw a report on all of like her Rotten Tomato scores, and she's like killing it. I mean, props to her and her agent, man. That's awesome. Good for her.
She did great in this. Like,
she was good. She was very good.
I haven't seen her, at least. I don't know what all she's done, but I haven't seen her in a lot of horror or anything. Like,
I don't believe I have either.
But yeah, I think she did amazing in this. And I cannot pronounce her name. I apologize to her, but I even forget her name in the movie. But Smoke's girlfriend, the one who lost the baby with him.
Oh yeah. She's the one that's in Loki.
Yeah,
the TVA agent.
She was amazing.
She's always good. I've always liked her.
She blew me away. Like her role was so. It was so crucial to the story, and she just added. Yeah, every scene that she was in, she just killed it. She's the star of the show in that picture, in my opinion. Like, she blew me away out of everybody.
Yeah, she
was amazing.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, more of the plot and not just the actors. But yeah, the plot blew me away. I love the fact that they incorporated it with music, but it wasn't so much of a musical that it was too much.
Sure.
I loved the cultural aspect of it all, and I think it was probably the best interpretation of vampires that I've seen, in my opinion. I haven't seen a lot, but yeah,
they were very well done.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it 100% of the way through.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I didn't love it as much as you did, which it seems to be a hot take right now because it is getting rave reviews everywhere. I want to put it out there. I did not dislike this movie. I enjoyed this movie very much, but I wanted to fall in love with this movie, and I didn't. And that was my issue. There were aspects of this movie that are sheer greatness. There are shots in this movie that caused my jaw to drop, especially we saw it in IMAX, so we got to see the different ratio shifts, and they were awe-inspiring. They truly were.
Yeah. It was a beautifully shot movie.
You know my thoughts on Michael B. Jordan. I do think he's kind of one note a lot of the time. I think he's good at emoting emotion, but I don't see a lot of different. I don't see a lot of range. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this was his chance, and I wanted him to blow me away by being able to play against type, with two separate characters. And while I think he did well, I think it's his best performance to date in any movie he's been in.
I
that I will give him.
I agree.
I just don't think it's his career-changing performance. Like, I think he's got greatness in him. I think we're going to see a lot. I mean, obviously this movie's killing it right now, and he's a big part of that. And he's got a great track record. He really does. I mean, in everything he's been in, he brings what the Michael B. Jordan flavor to it. You know what I mean?
He's been in every Ryan Coogler film.
Absolutely. He does. He absolutely won. And I love that. I love that it's like, the Spielberg, Tom Hanks, the Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, like these team ups of director actor.
Yeah.
I think that they perfectly complement one another. But again, I'm still waiting for that Michael B. Jordan performance that just absolutely floors me. This wasn't it. But I don't want to take away from. I thought he did well. But then transitioning over to Ryan Coogler, I love what Ryan Coogler has done for himself in his directing career so far. He is he's a force to be reckoned with. He's a force of nature, and I have nothing but respect for the man, and I will continue to watch his career grow and check out everything he does.
I love him.
I think with this being the no holds barred film for him, which congratulations for him for negotiating that. Like, I think that is historic, and kudos to that guy, all the respect in the world. But I think sometimes when you have carte blanche and it's your vision and it's the vision you want to tell, I think sometimes you can lose sight of the little nuances that can bring you back a little bit. And I don't want to go on too big of a tangent, but I think another director that falls into that same trap is Robert Rodriguez, who's an amazing director and one of my favorites. He actually directed what this is inspired by, which is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
And From Dusk Till Dawn back in the day was one of the first movies where I was enthralled with just the plot of the film or two bank robbers are on the run and they happen to hole up in a vampire nest. And I thought the actual premise alone was enough to get me in the theater. Then you add George Clooney, who was hot at the time, Quentin Tarantino, who I still think was horribly miscast. But the way that they balanced the first half of the movie being a crime drama or a action film, and then it transitions so abruptly into a cheesy, corny, over-the-top vampire film I just wish somebody would have been there to tell Rodriguez, reel it in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're on a great path right here. You can finish strong. You can stick this landing. And I felt, not to that degree what Coogler did, but I thought the vampire attack at the end left me wanting. Like, just the way they did it, like with how they were dancing towards the door as she screams at them. And they don't just like, she screams, they burst in. Like, she screams, come on in, you motherfuckers. And then you hear them like marching towards the door. Was awesome. Amazing. And then the doors open, and then all of a sudden they go at it, the two of them. And then then it lost me. It was like too much going on. I couldn't focus in on one thing, what was happening. I'm like, the math doesn't make sense. We've got 50 vampires outside, but holy shit, there were 5 people that were in the bar, but now they've gone after like a couple randos that I never really noticed before. So I got lost in it, and that took away from me. Now, when it started coming back to like Stack fighting Smoke, beautiful. And the interaction between the two of them as he's about to stake him, I thought was beautifully done. I even wanted that scene better when when Stack turns into a vampire and he's through the door. I wanted to feel what it would be like if your brother, who you just mourned, like the performance he did where he was mourning his brother was so powerful.
Yeah.
And then he speaks to him through the door and he's like, Stack, that you?
You're right.
I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as his name, like his voice rung out, I would have cut it to a slow-mo of him like looking over his shoulder and his ears going back. Like, am I hearing my brother right now? And then goes to the door very cautiously, sees the teeth, sees the gold in the teeth, and then he does it. Then he puts his hands on the door like you don't know what he wants to do. Like, there's just that missing, it was almost greatness, but it didn't stick the landing to me in that point. And that's what I expected from this movie because it was Ryan Coogler's vision. And that's where I was somewhat disappointed, where I had to take points away for it, where here's the thing at the beginning, the buildup, I don't have an issue with everybody saying it's slow. Like, give me those characters. Those characters were so well thought out and so well written and just so, everything was just so well done. And then when it builds up to that point, because I didn't have a problem with the movie at all until the end, until the vampires started coming in. That's when I was like, oh, this is From Dusk Till Dawn is what this is, with shades of The Thing, with the garlic eating and stuff. That was a scene taken right from The Thing.
Right.
And I get, taking inspiration from movies. I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, which again, Coogler has said that inspired him.
Yeah.
But I think you have to nuance it. I think you have to do it subtly. And I thought the points that he took inspiration from were just a little too on the nose. They were too, okay, I've seen that in this, I've seen that in that. Where the rest of the movie didn't have that at all. Like, I was enthralled in this story, like, of these two brothers and this party that they're going to throw, at the juke joint. And I was just on board. And I think that part of the movie is absolute greatness. I really do. And I love their rendition of the vampires. I love the sparkling eyes.
Yeah.
And he said that even Salem's Lot was another, and that's one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. And I think where they nail it are the eyes. The eyes are just so devoid of humanity that it spooks you just seeing them. And then the claws he had at the end, I thought was like an amazing.
Yeah, that did look really cool. Just the entire look of it.
Absolutely. And then they shat the bed with the whole guitar in the head thing with the. I was like, what is it, silver? Is that why I fucked him up? Is that what's going on here?
It's a wooden guitar.
What do you mean?
Oh, the silver in the head?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like how embedded in his head. I love the practical effect of him, like half his mouth gone and it being just a row of fangs in there. I thought that was awesome. But I didn't buy like, oh, you hit him so hard the metal went into his head and nearly got him. And then Stack shows up No, Smoke shows up with the stake through his heart. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You mean he got through all of those fucking vampires, circled around in the water, and then got up behind him? Bullshit.
Yeah, that is one
That
part
lost
where
another
I was
point
like,
for me. You know what I mean? And that's, again, let me go back. I'm not a hater of the movie. I'm just very critical when it comes to, I wanted to love this movie. I had such high expectations for this. I went into the movie. We both did. You know,
Yeah.
this is one of our most anticipated of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to go into this and I wanted to love it. And I did for the most part, but it just didn't stick the landing for me. You know what I mean? So, but I do want to give special props to Jack O'Connell. My God, dude. He's
the guy who plays
the mean vampire. I'm
yeah.
trying to think of the name right now of him, and I'm terrible for not being able to.
I don't think I would be able to either.
But I loved him. I loved the Irish. I loved that he wanted to, like, it was like he wanted to basically create this community, you know, and how he was trying to explain, you know, how they've been put down upon for so long, and like he's offering the exact opposite. I thought, shit, I'll go out there, you know, if you can guarantee me it doesn't hurt too much,
Right.
you know, I'll fucking
well,
join
you know
up.
he's lying.
Well, of course, yeah, he's
Rips your neck out, you know.
Yeah, he did, but he seemed to heal pretty quick. I like that scene with Michael B. Jordan where he's talking to him through the door and he's got that huge gape in his neck.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, she fucked him up. She was feeding on him a while before they found his ass.
Well, it wasn't too
No, it
long.
wasn't, but I
Yeah.
just mean she tore his ass up real
Oh
good.
yeah, she went at it.
Yeah, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. I just didn't love it. That's why I fall at a 7.5 but I expect nothing but great things from Coogler and Jordan going forward. Again, I'm not a hater by any means of Jordan. I just expect greatness from him.
Right.
And I think he gets put in these roles where he could elevate that, and he doesn't quite give me what I want. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I could talk to 1,000 million trillion people that think opposite of me. I was over at Allie's this past weekend, and the entire crew over there loves that guy. So I was the odd man out. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, how can you not love that guy? I'm like, I'm just saying, not that I dislike him. I just, think he can do better. So anyhow, that's my take.
Yeah,
take what you will.
I kind of felt the same way about him at first, but I think this movie doesn't fully change my mind about him, but it did lean me in the right direction.
He's just getting better.
Yeah.
He's every movie he's done, he does better and better.
Yeah.
It could have gone terrible if a lesser actor was playing two brothers, twins.
Yeah.
But again, he nailed it. Your color changed.
Oh, what?
You yellow. Yellow boy. There it is.
There we go. All right, should we move on?
Yes, we should. We should now transition into our top 10.
Top 10s.
Yes. So this week we are doing our top 10 favorite all-time. Let's do it again. This week we're doing our top 10 all-time favorite animated movies and top 5 all-time favorite animated television shows.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
it's
sir.
an animated theme this week.
Yep.
Hello. Still going strong all day long. Where are my notes? Where are my motherfucking notes? Shut your face. You weren't supposed to see that. I'm going to let you go first because I guarantee you ours are going to be wildly different this time.
Okay.
We're trying to pick more topics that we will be more different on. Yeah. So without further ado, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Go for it.
Yeah, let's start. All right. So my top 10 animated films. Let's start off with the honorable mentions. First, I've got Ratatouille.
Okay.
Yeah, these honorable mentions, they're like ones from my childhood. Two of them Ratatouille is kind of the one I don't remember the most, but I still...
It's an honorable mention.
Yeah,
It sticks out for you.
It sticks out. I still remember parts of the plot. I just
Great
don't remember
film.
the whole thing. Yeah, I remember loving it.
Great film.
Number 2, I have Incredibles. I can't believe they didn't make the list, in my opinion.
I'm a little surprised
Yeah.
it didn't. Wow.
Nuts, but...
You were real young when that movie came out, though. But you
it's
probably
still-
watched that numerous times.
It's
over
still
the
one of
years.
my all-time favorites.
And it
for
gets
sure.
only an honorable mention, bro.
It would have to be number 11 or something. It might replace a couple on this list now that I'm looking at it.
Right.
And then the third honorable mention I have is Toy Story.
The original Toy Story. The OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So number 10 I have How to Train Your Dragon, and specifically I have number 3, I know you've never seen that, but
I still haven't seen them. Yeah.
I think How to Train Your Dragon is probably one of the best animated, like, I don't know, is it Pixar or Disney?
No, it's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the best stories that DreamWorks has done.
I think it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the trilogy. So I
mean,
don't know.
yeah, they didn't miss on either one of the movies, and the third movie is just visually beautiful, and yeah,
All right, it's
amazing.
official. I'll be sitting down to watch all three.
It's great.
Okay.
Number 9, I have WALL-E.
Good
WALL-E.
choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's an all-time classic. I watched it all the time as a kid.
It's a what?
All-time classic.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry to interrupt. You said we had a bit in our last episode where you were making fun of yourself for saying all-time classic.
Oh.
And I was making fun of myself for saying phenomenal all the time. So we'll see on my top 10 how many times I say phenomenal. So we'll keep count of how many times you say all-time classic. Anyhow, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
You're good. But yeah, WALL-E, I remember I haven't seen it in years, but I remember loving it with my entire heart as a child.
WALL-E.
Number 8, I have Up.
Wow.
I love it. I mean,
knocking the Pixar films out the gate,
dude. All of these movies,
you grew up at the peak of Pixar.
I sure did.
You really did.
Yeah. I mean, everything that has come out,
and it was a treat for you to be so involved because we got the ability to take you to these, and then we got immersed in them too. Yeah. So yeah,
and that's the thing. Like all of these movies, growing up, I still resonate with, and I'm still like, if Bree's nephew comes over and wants to watch a Pixar movie, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, which one do you want?
Yeah, which one? You want a blind pick?
Yeah, let's spin a wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, number 8 is Up. I mean, I think that's probably one of the most emotional stories out of that frame.
Especially the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning just lays you to waste.
Yeah. Number 7, I have Shrek.
Okay.
Shrek, all-time classic.
That's exactly what you said. The exact same way. Oh, that's classic.
All-time classic.
ATC.
Yeah, like how can you not have that one on your list for a kid my age at least? You know,
I hear a lot of people saying Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1, which I disagree with.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really be specific with the.
Oh, with which one?
Yeah,
just the Shrek franchise.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Just the whole story's
you
one to me.
Fucking cheater.
I just don't remember the movies well enough to differentiate the different, like the Shrek movies. I haven't seen any of them in years.
I know that they resonate with you. It always has.
Yeah.
No matter which one we popped in, it was a great babysitter at the time.
Yeah. That was before the iPads got popular.
Is that fucking kid crying again? Put on Shrek, goddammit.
Okay, number 6, I have Moana. I don't know if it's
number
just like
6. No Moana. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like a personal thing to me, but Moana's super close to my heart. I remember I did 1 year of choir in school, and I remember that 1 year we did the couple songs from Moana.
Okay.
And so we watched it in class all the time. So I don't know if that's why it became one of my favorites, because we just watched it countless times. But yeah,
that's all it takes.
I don't really remember what the reviews were from Moana 2. I remember them kind of being mixed.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it and I thought it was good.
Part 2?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty decent.
I remember liking the first one. I think we watched it late one night, and I wasn't really, I kind of, when they start singing, I fall asleep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Number 5, I have Lion King. The Lion King.
The original, the OG?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Not the reanimated bullshit that came out about
live action.
Right.
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
No.
Fuck you, Favreau.
Original.
JK, bro.
The original Lion King.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was probably one of my favorites for a good 6-7 years or something like that. I mean, yeah, there's, in my opinion,
that's because it's a all-time classic.
All-time classic. But yeah, like every time that thing came on, I was just immersed by that. I feel like that was kind of one of the first movies that I was amazed by just the beauty of, like, because I didn't really have an idea. I was so young that I didn't really have an idea. It was Africa, just the
plains.
yeah,
and all
the
that.
Great Plains and all of that, and it was just so different, and I was so immersed by it. But I remember that specifically about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into the real good ones. So number 4, I have Wild Robot.
Wow, made your top 10.
Oh, made my top 5.
Yeah, it did, clearly, yeah.
Put it above Lion King.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long ago did you watch that? Because last I talked
just
to
watched it a couple, like maybe a month and a half ago.
Wasn't it something?
Yeah.
Well, you and I haven't talked about that yet.
Really?
Yeah. Because I watched it probably 2 months ago, and I was absolutely floored by how good it was.
So good.
It was emotional, funny.
I was scared at the first part of it because I didn't think I was gonna get into it. But
Same thing.
yeah, but grabbed my attention as soon as that emotion started getting in there. Oh my god.
Well, here's the thing. It actually is kind of weird that we both experienced it the same way, because when I started it, I noticed the animation was different. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. And then the animals showed up, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, if these fucking animals start talking, and then sure as shit, the robot starts understanding them,
Yeah.
which I thought was a cool take.
Yep.
But then I'm like, okay, now we're back into a talking animal movie with a robot. Not the most original concept in the world, but then the emotion gets you, and it's just like it never lets go.
No.
So yeah, sorry to go on a tangent there, but I couldn't agree more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, I have Soul.
Wow. That's another. Wow.
Oh my god. I mean, Soul is another one where it just, like, the emotion of that movie just hits you so hard.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It's special. That movie's very special to me.
that entire movie is just a masterpiece. It's beautiful.
I agree.
Like, I'll never not love that movie. I'll probably watch that at least yearly for the rest of my life just to be able to, like, watch it.
Sure.
It's insane.
Sure.
And number 2, I'll make this quick. Number 2 and 1 are both the Spider-Verse movies. Number 2 is Into, and number 1 is Across. With those movies, I'm so excited for this next one because they just keep leveling up the animation to each one.
Right.
And I thought that they're all very art-based, but I thought that the second one really emphasized that.
It definitely did.
With Gwen's world, how
Right.
the whole world was colored and painted and all of that.
Yeah.
Loved all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. And
Every world had its own style to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The India.
Oh my God.
The India one. And
you could feel the difference in the world when they were in it, and that's what I loved about it.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Across is my number 1. Will be. I really hope that Beyond will become my next number 1, and it'll be 3-2-1 or
Right.
3-1-2.
Yeah. Well, at that point, if it's trilogy, I think you can. If the trilogy stays consistent in regards to quality and overall entertainment value, then I think it's perfectly acceptable to take a trilogy and make it a one entry. That's just my thought.
No,
and
I
it might
agree.
be a hot take.
I agree.
But as of last week, I put the Lord of the Rings as my top, the trilogy. So, well, awesome, very cool.
Yeah, I think I got a pretty good list.
I think you did too.
I think that kind of justifies having Incredibles in honorable mentions.
I would agree. I
Maybe-
really would agree.
I don't know what I would switch Incredibles with. Maybe I feel bad, but maybe Wall-E.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think overall, but that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
That's your. I mean,
I'm cool with keeping
it's
it in honorable
subjective.
mentions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It may change. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, homeboy?
Well,
10?
I do. So, I have my top 3 honorable mentions,
Okay.
which are Big Hero 6.
Ooh, good pick.
Yeah, Big
Good
Hero
pick.
6. Big Hero 6 means a lot to me because it was a movie not long after your mom and I split up. And you and I would always go from Harrison to Mount Pleasant and go see movies on the weekends I had you. So I'm getting used to a world where I'm only getting you
Half the time.
which was really rough on me at the time. And this was a movie that you and I at the beginning of that time bonded on. We just absolutely loved it. So it should be in my top 10, but it's for sheer nostalgia alone, even though it's an amazing movie, and I mean, if you haven't seen it, obviously go back.
It deserves to be on my top 10.
Yeah, but it's a gorgeous film. It's a gorgeous film. I'm surprised they haven't made a sequel, but I'm okay with that unless you improve upon the original.
I'm good with the story.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good, so good. The next one you've probably never heard of, but it's an '80s. I grew up on this movie, but it's called The Last Unicorn.
I've heard of it.
It's an early '80s animated movie. Jesus. And it was something that when VHS first came out, I'm really dating myself again here. When VHS first came out, we rented it and we would play it over and over and over again. Like in the summers that my cousins and I and Amber and Dane would get together, we'd put that in, and it would just be on rotation. And it's tragic. It's beautiful. It's a Ralph Bakshi. You probably don't know that name, but it was this animator in the '80s who did like a lot of different animated movies. But it's almost got a very original style to it, almost whimsical, but it was still a very serious subject matter and fantasy, but it was great.
Interesting.
Used to make probably myself cry at such a young age, but I remember the girls in my family would just absolutely bawl their eyes out during this movie.
Really?
So,
Interesting.
Yeah. And then my last top honorable mention is Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 changed the game in regards to really bringing the emotion out. I don't think there's a single person that didn't see the movie that did not didn't walk away traumatized by the scene where they're about to get melted.
Yeah.
And they grab hands.
Yeah.
To this day, one of the best animated scenes of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in the top 10, and we're gonna start. Number 10 is Shrek. And Shrek just, I think, changed the game. DreamWorks came out of the gates swinging.
Sure did.
And I know, again, as I said previously, that a lot of people think Shrek 2 is better. I mean, it's okay to be wrong, and you are. But Shrek started it. It paved the way. It is a phenomenal movie. And to this day, it still holds up when you put it on. So that was before you were born.
Yeah.
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 Number 9 is The Lion King. Lion King was, as you said, I remember, I'm going to date myself again because I love doing that. But I remember seeing the trailer for this at the movie theater, and my jaw was, just watching the bird come in. I forget the name. I'm going to lambasted for that. But him flying in, and then you see the pride and the rock and everything. And the beginning trailer is literally just the scene where he holds up Simba to everybody, and everybody starts going crazy. And it was the first time a trailer made me emotional. I was like, oh my gosh. So obviously the movie followed suit. It was a classic, was amazing. So that's my number 9. Number 8 is the original Toy Story.
Okay.
So the original Toy Story was groundbreaking. It started Pixar. It started everything. So I have to give it its credit. So that's pretty much it. Toy Story is at number 8. Sorry. Okay. Number 7, The Incredibles. Incredibles, again, I know we've said it in the past episode. That was one of the first movies you were ever taken to. And even though you were so young, you were completely immersed, as was I. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. Number 6. I know what I'm doing.
Do you?
No.
Yeah.
It's hard. I didn't number them. I got to count them. Anyhow, number 6 is Akira. Akira was the first animated movie I'd ever seen. It was back in the Blockbuster days where you go into Blockbuster, and luckily my Blockbuster in Flint had one copy of that. And I was with a bunch of friends, and they didn't know what the hell that was. They were like, what? And then they asked how long it was, and it's like a 2.5-hour movie. And so they didn't want to do it. So anyhow, I ended up renting it myself, taking it home, watching it, and was absolutely blown away by it. It's still, to this day, it's Jordan Peele has taken inspiration from it in Nope. There's a scene where she's skidding on the bike.
Yeah.
That's taken directly from Akira.
Really?
So it's a very influential movie. So that being my number 6. And then moving into the top 5 is number 5, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Ooh, good pick.
That movie is art
Yeah.
personified. It is beautifully told. It is beautifully acted. It is beautifully animated. I hope to God they never get away from stop motion animation. I think Leica, the studio that does it, I hope they stick true to it and they keep doing that with the process. I love watching how they set up a basic playground and then just animate everything. To watch the behind the scenes and the making of Kubo is a pleasure into itself. So I love that movie with all my heart. Okay, and number 4 is a movie that is so very close to my heart, is Coco. I watch that every year. It brings me to tears in a way that I can't even really communicate. It just absolutely takes my heart from the beginning to the end and just leaves me.
Beautiful movie.
It is. It's just it's one of the best in recent memory. One of the best animated movies, if not movies in recent memory.
Yeah.
In the top 3 now, I have a movie that, as a father, made me appreciate being a father. But Finding Nemo. That was a movie that you were not around then, but you came shortly after that, though, I want to say. But anyhow, once I became a father, it was our movie that we watched together. It was one of the first Pixar ones as a toddler where I'd put it on and you were locked in, you know. So you would even sing along with the Just Keep Swimming.
Really?
You couldn't pronounce it, but you would sing it. You know what I mean?
I'm a cute little.
Yeah, it's really cute.
I'm a cute little.
And then, of course, in true form, our top 2 are exactly the same. The Spider-Verse films. Yes.
Cinema.
Oh my gosh.
Pure cinema.
Yep. If you have not seen either of the Spider-Verse films, Allie, you need to do that immediately and rectify that immediately.
She's
never seen either one of them. Never seen either one of them. I know. So that she has agreed to watch them with me though. So we will be doing that soon.
Now
I'm hoping to have her and her crew over here one night and just do a movie night here and just watch those back to back. I think that'd be sweet. So those are my top 10. Top 10 all-time animated movies.
Hells yeah. Should we just jump right into the shows or what?
Let's do it. Let's
All
go
right.
right in. Your turn, bruh.
Top 5 animated shows. Here we go. So starting off with my honorable mentions, I have Adventure Time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember Adventure Time.
Yeah.
I remember you loving Adventure Time. It got me
did.
into it, and
Yeah.
I love that.
I sure
Absolutely.
did. Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Another all-time classic.
All-time classic. And then the third honorable mention that I have is Naruto.
Nice.
Yeah.
True to you, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grew up on that shit.
Yeah, you did.
I wish I have like really vivid memories of certain things about that show, like Nine-Tailed Fox and stuff like that, but I don't remember the full plot. But it's definitely something that I need to go back and rewatch because of how much I loved it.
Yeah, and I think you probably scratched the surface in regards to the whole Naruto library.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
I think
goes
that
on
whole
and
thing
on.
is huge.
Your Uncle Dane is huge into him too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on the podcast one of these days soon.
Hell yeah. Number 5. Starting off number 5, I have Regular Show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love.
I used to love watching you watch it because it always brought me. I'd always crack up at just how off kilter that fucking show was. Man.
That's what I loved about it.
It's
what I loved about
God,
it. Yeah.
I wonder how they came up with half the shit they came with.
I don't
in that
know,
show.
but
My
it
God.
was just beautiful.
That was awesome.
So number 4, I have Arcane.
Number 4, okay.
Number 4, yeah. I really did like the show. I think Jinx is my favorite character, 100%. I mean, she's insane, but just something about her I just love. Yeah. I mean, the whole show, every single second of that show is beautifully shot. Beautifully.
It's art.
Yeah. Oh my
art.
God. And I think that's reason enough to put it at my number 4, honestly, is just because like the plot is so good. I didn't even I don't even know what the game is based on. Like, is League of Legends?
League of Legends.
Yeah, I've never played it a day in my life, and I'm so into this show.
Absolutely, such a great video game adaptation.
Yeah.
Adaptation. I don't even care. Like, I mean, it was like, it doesn't make me want to play the game by any means, but it just, the story itself was on another level.
Yeah, I'm cool with having that story on television form. I do not need to play the game.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
I agree.
That. Number 3, I have X-Men 97.
I knew that was making its appearance on your list for sure.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, just the fact that it came from Marvel Studios is awesome to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
but just Wolverine was one of the superheroes that I loved as a kid. And like, I mean, I grew up with all of the X-Men movies, and Magneto was always such a badass villain in my eyes and shit like that. And just seeing all that, and even seeing the side characters that I hadn't really been that attracted to, like Cyclops. Like, he's still a big character, but I was never really drawn to him.
Sure.
He was amazing in that show.
First episode.
Oh
he
my
brought,
God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that show just knows how to kick it to the next level at a moment's notice.
Agreed.
And I love that. Moving on, number 2, I'm going to do it. It's contradicting from last episode, but I'm putting Invincible number 2.
Oh!
I have come to my senses. Okay. There is one show out there that is better that I will give. Invincible is almost flawless. I love every single bit of it, but I mean, when you got a number 1 like Avatar: The Last Airbender, you can't beat that. I mean, that show, like, Nickelodeon made that show, and yet as an adult I am fully immersed 100% of the time. Yeah. The emotion, the plot of that story, and the action sequences for how, like, that's early 2000s.
Yeah.
And just how beautiful that show.
Yeah.
There's nothing ever beating that in my eyes.
It's amazing it's 20 years old. 20 and some change, I think.
Yeah.
Blows me away.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So just a little side story on that. I was drawn into Avatar: The Last Airbender by Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was drawn into Avatar: The Last Airbender by Alex and my nephew Tyler. Tyler would come over, and the two of you, Tyler was into it, so he would watch it. You would watch it alongside Tyler, and I would sit back and just kind of, babysit and do my thing. And all of a sudden, yeah, there it is. There's Aang. I found myself just listening to it and getting completely blown away and entertained, and so it quickly became a favorite of mine. But anyhow, I will start my top 5. I'll start with the honorable mentions, and again, I think this is going to be pretty different from yours, just because I came up in a different time. Mm-hmm. And once I started dipping back into what I remember as a kid, a bunch of them I'm like, oh, I got to put that on there, but I haven't seen that in decades, so I don't know if it holds up.
Yeah.
But I know it holds up, what it holds up today, and that's what I'm basing these decisions off of.
Okay.
So honorable mention is Super Friends, and that is the first cartoon with Batman, Superman, Aquaman. That was my first introduction to those superheroes. Very Saturday morning cartoon, very cheap animation at the time, but that's what you got, when color animation. Jeez, I'm really making myself sound old here. There was still color TV when I was born, okay? Anyhow, Super Friends. Number 2, in regards to honorable mention, is Gargoyles, which you can find on Disney Plus right now. That was a great show. To this day, I've watched it since Disney Plus came out, and it still holds up.
Really?
I am praying for a live action adaptation of it.
Really?
Are you familiar with the show at all?
No.
It's basically about gargoyles being frozen or turned to stone. A group of them, much like a superhero, think of Thunderbolts, but gargoyles, and they get cursed, and they are turned to stone on these buildings, and then obviously it turns to nowadays, or back in the 90s, 80s, and then they're reawoken, and they're just a bunch of heroes. So, yeah, so it's awesome. I can't recommend it enough. And then the last honorable mention is a recent movie, or a recent show that's on HBO or Max now, called Primal.
I've heard of it.
And
yeah.
it is I don't think there's hardly any dialogue in the entire show, and it's, I think, got 2 or 3 seasons on there. And it is about a caveman, basically a caveman and a dinosaur that become friends, like a T-Rex that become friends. It's mainly no dialogue whatsoever, but grunting. He grunts, and then the dinosaur roars. But it is some of the coolest and most violent, goriest stuff you'll see. I mean,
really?
And I just started watching it when HBO came out. I found it on there, and then they started adding to it, and they never really promote it or advertise it. I just kind of came upon it, and I love it. And so much so I made it an honorable mention.
Wow.
So if you haven't seen Primal, check it out on Max. It is awesome. All right, now my top 5. Number 5, X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say enough good things about it. We've talked about it at length on the show. That's what I feel about it. It's in my top 5.
Beautiful.
Number 4 is Invincible. Invincible came out of left field. I knew nothing about the comic whatsoever. The first season absolutely just captivated me, and I've been a fan ever since.
Yep.
The reason it's so far down on my list on number 5, which isn't that far, is due to the animation not being consistent. That's my only gripe. Number 3 is Love, Death, and Robots, which you can get on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, which I don't think you have,
I don't think I have either.
Season 3 is about to come out. It's an anthology series from different styles of animation across the world. So you got anime, you've got CGI from like the Netherlands and stuff, but all 5 to 10 minute stories that are very quick, very gory, very violent, very sexual in a lot of them. And they are some of the best animation I've seen in a long time. And it's just, I mean, just give it a shot. Give the first season a shot. Again, it's every episode is like a few minutes. It's not that long, but I highly recommend it. I really do. And number 4, what? No, hold on.
Number 2.
Anyhow, number 2 is Arcane.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, beautiful show. I discovered that one day just watching Netflix, and the trailer came on, and I'm like, that is some amazing looking animation. Let me check that out.
Yeah.
And I got just absolutely captivated by it.
You introduced me to it.
Yeah. And and then to follow it up with the second season that even surpassed the first.
Oh my God.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you get a chance and you're not familiar with Arcane, go to YouTube and just type in that's be helpful if I remember the fucking character's name. What is the one kid? Echo?
Yeah. No. Is it?
Echo Jinx. Is it
Yeah.
Echo?
Yep.
Okay. So do yourself a favor if you're unfamiliar with Arcane. Go to YouTube, type in Echo and Jinx battle.
Oh my God.
And watch what comes up. It is absolute. The scene alone, I could just sit there and watch it. It is that phenomenal. So, anyhow, do yourself a favor, get it familiarized with that show, and then of course, number 1 spot. Couldn't agree with you more. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
All 3 seasons are a cohesive unit that need to be experienced if you haven't. It is storytelling at its finest. It is characterization at its finest. The animation with the action scenes reminds me of X-Men 97, where you have this kind of, standard but charming animation, and then action scenes kick in, and you're like, what is going on? You can tell they're animating around actual movement of people and and the martial arts and things, which sets it apart from anything else. The beginning itself, when it shows the different thing, you can tell that they're tracing actors and stuff that did these moves. So it just sets it apart. It wouldn't have a successful show on Netflix if it wasn't a legendary show. So do yourself a favor, check out Avatar: The Last Airbender if you haven't. If you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
All right, well, that about wraps it up for another episode of the Teeter Talk podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We want to thank you all for joining us, for tuning in. Don't forget that if you like what you see here, just drop us a like. Or share or subscribe, please. Every little bit helps, and we certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.